if you look back historically, there's been many different companies and projects that have looked at ASL as just hands moving, not really as a language itself, not affording it the proper respect. SignSpeak has done 9 years of research and development and has worked closely in developing with the deaf and hard of hearing community. Gone all over the United States to all different conferences and run user tests with the community itself. And that's allowed us to continually improve our technology based on their feedback. So far, we've seen really great reception from the community. And the skepticism towards AI really goes away during the user test. People are really shocked. They're like, oh my gosh, this is easy to use. They're just shocked about the advancement of the technology and where it has arrived to.
Very cool. Now, Josh, I would love to hear from you. I enjoy, in any industry, there's always some companies that are smart enough to create the state of X. And you do at least two that I can think of. My favorite one is the state of ASR, which stands for Automated Speech Recognition. And obviously, you use a lot of the models, so does Mike. I think, Sandy, you do too, and basically everybody here, really. But in terms of ASR, what is the state of the industry now? What do you see as the hurdles that still need to be crossed?
How much time do we have? To give you some context, so for our captioning transcription process, we use speech recognition as a starting point. We've built tools to put a human on top of that and correct it, and then QC it as another job. So it's a 3-step process. We've been doing this for almost 17 years. So we have millions of hours of content. We work across the education industry, corporate space, and the media industry. So we have lots of different types of content. And when we do this study that Joe is referring to, we look at speech recognition performance across different types of content, and I think that's really important. What we are doing in our process is effectively creating truth data to tell us how well that automated step performs, as well as to build better models. So what we are measuring every year is how is the speech recognition doing over time in terms of its performance and all the different advancements that we all hear about. And we test all of the leading engines out there. So everything from, let's see, what am I allowed to say? Certainly Speechmatics and Amazon and Microsoft. We used to test Watson, but they stopped investing in it. And now certainly OpenAI, Assembly AI, all of them. And there was a step function change, no question, a couple of years ago. And now things start to taper off a bit. But what we see is that there's a definite difference in performance based on the type of content. And that is something that I think is so important for the buyers, maybe the users, but certainly the buyers, the people who are publishing data, or publishing video rather, and putting it out there and deciding whether to use an automated captioning solution or not. They need to understand how it's going to perform and what the risks are. One of the things we look at, so the industry is very used to talking about word error rate and essentially basic word level accuracy. We like to also measure what's called formatted error rate, because that's where you start to really get into meaning. There's a huge difference in where you put a comma, and everyone likes to use the phrase, let's eat grandma. Where you put that comma matters, right? So that is what factors into the formatted error rate, where you put punctuation, capitalization, and things like that that really can make a pretty big difference in terms of how that content gets consumed.
Thanks, Josh. Sandy,